At World Parts Direct, we offer a massive selection of new, factory original, GM, and Mopar parts at guaranteed low prices. Need something that isn't made anymore? We can help you find the right part for any brand. If we can't get it, nobody can. There's even a next-day delivery option on more than 100,000 items. Visit worldpartsdirect.com or call 972-864-9777.
Yeah, that's helpful. Welcome to the Final Picture Show, a podcast, episode 102. 102, and we are going back to the year 2002. A year that we have like danced around, but I don't know if we've actually ever just talked about the year 2002 directly, but hey.
I don't think so.
I can't remember us doing it. It's a year I remember pretty well. It was the year my family did a big move across the state. So it was the year that I left West Texas and went to South Texas. So, big change for me. Big changes for me happened in the year 2002. Yeah. It was also the year I got my PS2. So spent a lot of time doing that. Yeah, it's a good year 2002 was. So we're going back to the year 2.
I think that was the year it was definitely the year I formally dropped out of signing papers to drop out of Permian, just so I could go to a different school.
There you go. Fuck that Permian.
Oh yeah, no, it was terrible. I wasn't a football player, so it did not do anything for me.
Well, it doesn't. I won't speak ill of the school. I never worked there, but I did go to school there. I will. I did go to school there for just a hot second, and
me and Jamie share. Oh, that's right.
I was in Friday Night Lights.
I worked at the theaters when they premiered, and Peter Berg and all them were at the premiere.
I did not go to the premiere of it at all.
No, you wouldn't have been invited.
That's what I was going to say.
It was some pinkies up motherfuckers, let me tell you.
Billy Bob.
The only reason I was there is, it was such a,
Did Kelly Grimsley get the invite?
Oh, I'm sure.
These are references only people from West Texas know or give a shit about.
Oh, yeah.
That little scumbag motherfucker.
Say that. I was going to say that might be a slanderous thing to say. I better not say it.
Well.
Anyway.
The movie we're talking about tonight takes place in Texas, but not in West Texas.
No.
It is set in East Texas, even though the actual city, what is it, Mud Creek? That is an actual city in Texas, but it's not in East Texas where Mud Creek is.
Oh.
No. Mud Creek is all the way down to almost in Mexico by Del Rio.
See, I would have thought.
So kind of like when you get out to the mountain range, kind of like when you're out way West Texas going into Central, but you're pretty far down from San Antonio, Austin area. So far down, you're almost in Mexico. So.
Yeah, I've never been down that area, so
I was going to say I've driven through it, but I've never really hung down there much. The only city of interest I know there is Del Rio, and that's just I know it just from name alone. I've never actually spent much time in Del Rio, but that's where the actual Mud Creek, Texas is. The movie relocates it to East Texas, which is far away from where you and I are from.
Yeah. I was gonna say it's kind of like what was that? That show Heroes.
Yeah.
The cheerleader is from Odessa, Texas, but like you can see mountains in the background when they're filming the.
Yeah,
that ain't Odessa.
No. That may be like Marfa, but that is not Odessa.
Yeah,
no. You're quite away from the mountains. You're a couple hours from mountain ranges. Well, let's get back to the movie at hand. Those of you listening on YouTube or elsewhere, you'll not think anything of it. If you wanted to hear what we spent the last 20 or 30 minutes talking about, check out our Patreon. I'm going to shamelessly plug it over and over and over again until that hole is firmly plugged up tight. I just launched it a couple days ago. I have no idea if it's correct. So go check it out and see if I fucked up so you can make fun of me. At the very least, there's that. It's $3 a month to hear us with all of our bonus episodes and other things that we're going to do over the coming weeks and months. Not only that, you can do a 7-day free trial. Hey, there you go.
Hey,
7-day free trial. If after 7 days you're like, yeah, I'm not interested. Hey, no harm, no foul. Hey, take $3 elsewhere. Enjoy your half of a foot long that you can almost buy for that money.
No buyer's remorse here.
No buyer's remorse. No. No, I'm not trying to take your money for nothing. Trying to take it and use it for a good cause. Buying more movies starring Bruce Campbell.
Hell yeah.
There you go. The man of the hour, the man of the month. Here again, talking about another movie. Truth be told, this movie has virtually nothing to do with our theme of the show. So it is kind of pre-apocalyptic if we stretch that definition very far.
And I'm down with stretching, you know.
I mean, so like Armageddon has been considered to be like not pre-apocalyptic enough. And if you want to go with that definition, then this movie is certainly not pre-apocalyptic enough.
But me personally, as an expert, I've decided. Just now,
we've watched 100 of these movies. Yeah, we can claim we can claim authority here.
I think we can claim some.
What is our definition especially of pre-apocalyptic? I guess that's what we should do here. Define pre-apocalyptic on our show.
I think, without a doubt, Armageddon is, I think, baseline pre-apocalyptic. Like, I think if you need something that's like, this is the measure of pre-apocalypse, like, that's it. You know, like, I think we're talking about a world-ending event, and
I think like post-apocalypse is pretty firmly established, right? It's the world is ended. Here's what came after. The only way that gets confusing is there are a lot of dystopian movies that verge on post-apocalyptic, but they never specifically say the world has ended. Like those movies, like Fifth Element, for example.
Fifth Element, or maybe Demolition Man, because it's kind of
Demolition Man. Yeah. Demolition Man's a good example. Fifth Element would be a good example of a pre-apocalyptic movie, which
very much
for me, I think the base level pre-apocalyptic movie is World in Peril.
Yes, absolutely.
That's enough. Which I know for some people are going to be like, well, that also includes like every Marvel movie ever made. Yeah, it does.
Yes, it does.
And maybe one day we'll talk about those movies when we hate ourselves enough to watch them, or if there's been enough distance between when they came out to make it be like, at least now it's nostalgic, you know?
Yeah, at least now
I remember going to the theater that day or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
I got blown in the parking lot, you know, something. But
he seems like a nice guy.
Well, you know, he was doing military service.
He needs money. I was
proud to be an American. Let's not talk about Kenny Chesney anymore. So that's my definition of pre-apocalyptic. And in that case, this movie still kind of hits it, but only barely. Yeah. I mean, technically, the Mummy, if left unchecked, would have caused a havoc. But I don't know if I don't know. This movie might be one that stretches that definition to its uttermost stretching.
We've already stretched it with Swarm.
We did as well with Beware the Blob. Beware the Blob as well.
Yes.
That was like our first one where I was like, this is not really a pre-apocalyptic movie, but
if you stretch it like we're gonna do now.
yeah. Now there are other movies we could have just thrown in here to talk about with Bruce Campbell, but to fill out the month that we had kind of already set up for this, we needed an extra one, and it was like, hey, this one kind of fits. Also, this is a fun movie to talk about because he mentions it directly in a chapter of his second book that I have here. And it also is one of the probably more notable Bruce Campbell performances.
Honestly, look, okay. I'm just going to go ahead and get this out of the gate. I have my take on this movie. For me personally, I'm actually glad I never saw it until now, because had I had watched it before all these movies we've watched and like a perspective I have of being the age I'm at now, I would have just written it off as some dumb, goofy Z-grade movie. But with what Bruce Campbell did for this movie, I think it's actually awesome. I think it's great.
Yeah, totally. So, I tend to agree with that reading of it. This movie has a lot of theme, like a lot of heavier themes than I remember it having when I first watched it.
Does.
Now, I will say the first time I watched this was drunk at college with a bunch of people, like a bunch of people together.
That's got to be a typical experience for this movie, you know?
Well, at the time, I remember the people I was with didn't like the movie because it's not paced like a horror movie at all. It's paced more like, at least the first half of it is paced like a character drama where you're really getting into this guy at this retirement home. Is he really Elvis? Is he imagining all of this? Is this like late stage dementia? Like what's going on? Also, people are dying at this home with this like weird bug thing. We got Ozzy Davis
beetle.
Like it is a very different. And the editing is also like the decisions made in the editing are also very unlike modern horror movies that would have been out by like 2002, 2003. I probably watched this in like 2005. I didn't watch it for a long time. It was not one that I watched when it first came out. And we'll talk about how it was released here in a little while because it had a unique little release that it came through. So technically kind of stretching the definition of the show, but hey, it's fucking Bruce Campbell, hell to the king.
I was going to say, if we're going to have a Bruce Campbell month, I feel like after having seen it, it would be almost criminal not to bring this one in, you know?
It'd be hard to not talk about it. It's also such like a big cult movie. It seems like it'd be silly to not at least bring it up. It seems like it'd be like at the end of the month if we got done and we were like, all right, well, that's it for Bruce Campbell probably. I don't know if we're going to see another movie with him in a while. And then it'd be like, oh, we didn't talk about this one at all.
Yeah, right.
Seems a little
I think it would be irresponsible to have a Bruce Campbell month and not talk about this.
Now, his other big things that we will talk about outside of this, the other movies that I guess you could stretch the definition of pre-apocalyptic to would be the Evil Dead series. But we mentioned previously that we're going to save all of those and just do them all as like a big run of shows. The original 3 and then the remakes and the sidequels, and there's been a lot since then.
The show I haven't seen any
I've never watched the show. I've never actually watched the show.
I hear good things, but
yeah. I've heard it was around for a while, so according to the fans of Highlander, that's reason enough that we should not complain about it. That's how that works. So let's get into let's get into the director and the writer of Bubba Ho-Tep from 2002. Now that we've kind of established our definitions, this was directed by a man that we will probably talk about again at some point, Don Coscarelli, and he is responsible for a lot of films. John Dies at the End, the whole Phantasm series, as well as one of the movies from the 80s that I really loved called Survival Quest that stars Lance Henriksen.
Ooh.
That's a fucked up movie. He also did the first Beastmaster, speaking of what we talked about at the Highlander review. There you go. Kind of going back there. Another show that we'll have to get into one day.
Yep.
Still waiting for people who have seen Beastmaster 3 to let us know.
Oh, yeah.
And the other big thing that he kind of did that at least prominent in my life was he directed the Last in Line music video for Dio, which is a music video that I've watched many, many times.
I don't think I've watched that video.
Oh, it's a good one. It's a fantastic one. As soon as you watch it, you'll be like, "Oh, this was such a good music video."
Mm.
He is famous in Hollywood for being kind of like a wonder kid. At the age of 19, in 1975, he sold a movie to a Hollywood studio as an independent producer.
Wow.
Writer, director, producer, sold it at the age of 19 in 1975. Yeah, crazy, crazy young to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Still working, still doing stuff. And the entire Phantasm series is based on a fucked up dream he had.
What, really?
Yeah, apparently. Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's kind of how he started it. That's kind of how he got it going. He is adapting a novel which is written by Joe Lansdale, who has written over like 60 novels. He's a prolific writer, including a bunch of comic books as well, and as well as I think some screenplays he's done as well. So a lot of things. So that's it for our writer and director. And the cast here, obviously, Bruce Campbell, back once again.
The man himself.
Now, this movie would actually come out via a tour. So it was kind of released, kind of like Clerks 2 was, where it came out and was toured around the country, going from different festival to different festival along the way. And coming along with the movie was Bruce Campbell promoting his first book, which was called Hell to the Chin, Confessions of a B-Movie Actor, which I have that one here in front of me.
Awesome.
Obviously, he doesn't talk about Bubba Ho-Tep in the first one because he was writing it when the film came out. And produce and touring it around the country. But one of the first chapters of the second book is him distinctly talking about Bubba Ho-Tep. So let's see what Bruce had to say in his fourth chapter of his second book, Further Confessions of a B-Movie Actor. Here's what he says. This is called A Hunk of Bubba Love. So, Dawn, are you going to see it? Are you going to see the dick, I asked. No, Dawn replied. It's implied. Both the question and the answer were important because in Dawn's new movie, Bubba Ho-Tep, the story revolved around a 68-year-old Elvis Presley in an East Texas retirement home who was dying from cancer on his penis. I was asking Dawn because in considering the role of Elvis in this whacked-out story by Joe R. Lansdale, I wanted to know how far Dawn was going to go. Was he going to go John Waters far, Pink Flamingo far? If so, the movie would become something you couldn't take back. It would be knocking on the door of taste and tastelessness. And although I've been in plenty of unrated movies and plenty of edgy stuff, that wouldn't be something I was looking for. Once I cleared that major hurdle, the next question that concerned my litmus test for low-budget productions, how long is the shoot? And this is one of the things that I think is really interesting to hear him talk about in his book. Even when I read this book years ago, when I first bought it, is his take on like being an actor is so unique and different. Like he presents it almost like a working man's take. Like, how long am I going to be away from my family and how much am I getting paid? Those are my two biggest concerns. Like, and I thought that was an interesting thing is like, well, how long am I going to be gone for? And so here's what he said. I didn't ask that because I was lazy and hoped for a merciful short shooting schedule so I could golf more. I asked because in movies without budgets world I tend to inhabit, shooting length can be the difference between doable and no fucking way. If Don was hoping to bang this thing out in 2 or 3 weeks like a lot of ultra low budget filmmakers, I knew it would be time to walk away, Ray. 6 weeks, Don said reassuringly. We got to get this right. That was all I needed to hear. Great, I exclaimed. I'm in. I knew of Don, but I didn't really know him well before shooting Bubba Ho-Tep. Don, like we did with Evil Dead, starred in the world of nano-budget genre movies, very handmade stuff. His first effort, Phantasm, became a cult classic. I've always had respect for people who go their own way creatively, and Don fit the bill quite nicely. Joe Lansdale, by my way of thinking, also had an inevitable career, writing pretty much anything he damn well pleased. When not pitting mostly dark homespun material, Joe is a martial arts expert, dog lover, and small-town Texan man who was mostly shunned mainstream Hollywood. My kind of guy. The elements were in place. Now I had to get ready to play the king. Although Elvis' character in this story was a sort of geriatric 68, a few flashbacks featured Elvis performing live late in his career. Terrified that I had to actually get on stage and emulate a performer whose live acts were astonishing, I tracked down an Elvis impersonator and began to schedule a session ASAP. So let's stop reading there. So it's not just me reading Bruce Campbell's work, but I thought we would be remiss to not at least read the first couple paragraphs of his second book, where he actually specifically mentions the production of this movie. And like one of his major things is like, are you going to see my dick? And how long am I going to have to do this? Like, that was it. That's awesome. And we'll get into the budget here in a minute, so you can kind of see exactly like why he would have asked something like that on a movie like this. So. Bruce Campbell is our lead. He is tremendous in this movie.
Yes,
a lot of narration, and like he said, he's pretending to be a 68-year-old dying of cancer. So he's coming to it from that perspective, and it's interesting to see his take on that. It's a I think this is one of his best like performing movies that he's in.
Oh, absolutely.
Where you can really see like Bruce Campbell can carry a movie by himself, even if he's doing more than just action scenes. If he's just acting and talking, he can do a really good job. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I really loved it.
Blown away.
Yeah.
I would. I don't know what I expected, but it wasn't this.
Yeah. The same thing. Like whenever I first saw this movie, I remember like I said, I watched it with a bunch of people. A lot of people didn't like it that I watched it with. They were like, that movie sucks. Like that's not a horror movie. It's too slow. It's too boring. It's too this. It's too that. And I didn't really have an opinion on it. Usually it takes me a couple watches to really formulate an opinion on it, on anything, let alone a movie. But I remember it being like, standing out in my mind is it not at all being what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
Like I thought it was going to be a schlocky, stupid B horror movie, and it definitely gets there, but not in the way you would think it would. Definitely not on the path you think it would. Yeah. So speaking of not on the path you think they would, playing JFK is Ozzie Davis, who of course
was awesome.
Yeah, he's great in this movie. He of course is no longer with us. He died in 2005. So shortly after this movie came out, this is one of the last things he actually did. He's mostly known for Do the Right Thing, Grumpy Old Men, Client, School Days.
Oh yeah,
his credits go all the way back to 1950. He was kind of one of those actors that Spike Lee used a lot. So he shows up in a lot of Spike Lee movies back in the day. Yeah, he will show up. He'll be on the show again in a more strictly speaking post-apocalyptic show whenever we get to the Stand miniseries from Stephen King. He was in that back in the day as well. Yeah.
Far out.
And if we ever decide to get into some weird FMV stuff, do you remember when Spoonie did his review of The Ripper?
I don't know if I remember that
Christopher
one
Walken is the one about like the F. Yeah. So Ozzie Davis is in The Ripper full motion video game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's one of the actors that appeared in that whole thing. I thought Ozzie Davis was great in this movie. I thought, honestly, I wanted more of him and him and Bruce together. Honestly,
yeah, absolutely. I thought they worked together very well.
Yeah, their back and forth was really, 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 really good together.
Yeah,
I was one of those things where I was like, God damn, we never really got to see y'all in any movies together before or after this, because he was so late in his career, and it was just like two perfect casting just crossing into the night, and they just lined up in this film together,
Yeah.
Playing Bubba Ho-Tep himself is Bob Ivy, who is mostly known as a stunt worker. He did stunts on the movie Powder. There's one we've talked about a couple times in passing.
Yeah.
As well as Near Dark. He would also work again with the director and writer here with John Dies at the End, as well as a couple of the Phantasm movies. And he was also an actor in a movie that I've never heard of or seen before, but God, do I want to look it up and watch it. It's on Tubi now. It's called Adventures of Taru Prison Ship Star Slammer. And it is about it looks like a Star Wars ripoff involving slave girls that get kidnapped and put on a planet. It looks weird as shit. He shows up in that, so that was interesting.
Yeah, that's
The nurse here is played by Ella Joyce, who has also been in a lot of stuff. She was in Set It Off. She was in one episode of Dangerous Minds, the TV show, a show that I didn't know existed.
I didn't know that existed.
Still working as a 2026. She was actually just recently, as a couple weeks ago, in one episode of Grey's Anatomy. And
forgot that show's still going.
Yeah, it's still going. My wife reminds me of it weekly because we watch it. Her
still never
biggest
seen a single episode.
It's actually pretty good. It's one of those shows where Grey's Anatomy is actually pretty good. It's one of those ones where I'm like, it's pretty good. Yeah, I'm kind of that way too, but it's pretty good, honestly. Yeah, it is pretty good. You care about the characters after a little while. Her biggest movie that you would probably recognize her from, though, is Stop or My Mom Will Shoot.
Awesome.
Which is a horrible movie, but a movie title really that's easy to make fun of.
It is.
Just throw more verbs into sentences.
I will say it's one of the best, like, I don't know, Hollywood fucking around, like Arnold fucking with.
The whole background of it, of like, the whole background of it
makes me love it.
It's pretty good. yeah. That alone is like an interesting thing about it. The movie itself is not that great, but
it's not that good.
I remember
this is kind of lame.
That was one my parents took me to see in theaters. Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. Yeah, we went and saw that in theaters. Yeah, we used to go see a movie. We used to go to movies like almost every week as a family. Back when they were like cheaper. God, I don't know how my parents could not afford that now. They would be broke.
No, hell no.
So let's get into the background of the movie, and then we'll get into the plot.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no Elvis music in this Elvis movie, which is kind of fun. And that's purely because of the budget. Because to license even a single Elvis song would have cost nearly half of the budget of the movie. The budget of the film was only $1 million. So, getting one Elvis song would have ran you about half of that. That just would have been
Crazy.
One. Yeah. So they elected to have music that sounds nothing at all like Elvis. It doesn't help the production values of the movie do kind of show their age a little bit, I will say.
Yeah.
What I would have thought maybe you could have done is like, I don't know though, because you could have gone and like, maybe I don't know how much it would have cost to like license the songs that Elvis was ripping off. But I don't know how much that would have cost you either, though. That may have also been a thing that would have just ran you a lot. Yeah, I don't know either. But there's no Elvis music in this movie.
Yeah,
it's okay. It's one of those things that it's noticeable at the beginning. But then after you kind of like settle into the movie, you don't really think about it too much.
I didn't. Yeah, after a while, I was just like, it's fine.
Because it's not really about like it is about Elvis, but it's not really about Elvis.
Exactly. It's about a much larger theme. And
one of the characters, there's a lot of themes in this movie, yeah. One of the characters in the book that got completely dropped was apparently I haven't read the book, but I really want to. In the book, there is a... Yeah, there is a book that this is based off of. Yeah, that is the source material. The book has a gender-swapped John Dillinger.
Oh.
Which also sounds like that could have been fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have been interested to see that. I would have been interested to see that on the live screen. But
hell yeah,
I'll just check that out. So the total shooting schedule ended up being 30 days. So in the book, he mentions like 4 to 6 weeks, right there on the spot, right there.
Nice, yeah. Did it.
Which tells you, as like an actor, that like the directors and producers have already like planned out exactly how much they're budgeting for all of this, because they're like, here's how much money, here's how many days we can afford.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that they nailed it pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the changes that you can actually see on the DVD, which I do own Bubba Ho-Tep on DVD. Nice. If you go to the special features, you can see that there's not like a director's cut, but there was going to be a different narrator. So originally the director wanted to have the narrator be a third person completely unrelated to the film, and they would be narrating what's going on. And then apparently he screened it for some friends, and they told him, it's awful. You got to either get rid of the narration or let Bruce do it. So ended up with Bruce does all the narration, which as a person who also doesn't like narration, you would really need it in this movie to get the themes across of like what's going on in his mind. Cause he does spend a lot of the time stuck in his head.
Yes.
As well as if you're going to do that, hey, fucking Bruce Campbell has spent some time and energy into learning his best Elvis impersonation. So hey, let him do it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He does a good job. Does a really good job.
He does a really good job. Yeah, I love it.
He never once sells Hell to the King, baby, which is a little unfortunate. set right there for him, but never does it.
Right?
That's okay.
It's okay, but it sticks out.
It just because, if you come to his films from elsewhere, then maybe you would be like, oh, he's going to say it, and he never does. And you're like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
So the way the movie came out, like I said, was they kind of toured it around like a roadshow, which meant that they only made so many prints of it because they were only going to go to so many theaters. And one of the last places they went to that actually had to order a print ahead of time, apparently, according to legend, the 33rd print, was the Memphis Soul of Southern Film Festival. So the movie did come here to Memphis, Tennessee, which is cool to see, cool to hear.
Yeah.
Yep. And because of the director's goodwill amongst horror films and other studios that work with horror films, he got all of the makeups and effects, cast and crew and everybody to help him out at cost. So everybody worked basically for free for this. So really a lot of people kind of coming together to kind of make this thing happen for the budget that they could afford, which was, like I said, just a little over $1 million, of which they would end up making a profit. It made a little over $1.2 million. So did end up turning a profit, which was nice to see, especially considering the subject matter and the fact that a lot of cult movies don't ever turn a profit. So this one, it turned a profit. It turned a profit.
Nice.
Not a big profit, but enough that,
But hey.
So much so that they actually had a thought in mind to do a sequel.
Ooh.
Yeah. So the sequel was going to be based on Don's idea of having like a lost Elvis movie from the 1960s that was going to kind of like set up that Elvis had connection to like some mythos from the other worlds or like more Egyptian kind of stuff going on.
Yeah.
And it was going to be directed and written by the same guy. And it was going to star Paul Giamatti.
Ew.
As well as Bruce Campbell. Paul Giamatti taking on the role of Elvis's handler / agent. What was his name?
No, Colonel?
God. The Colonel. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. That was going to be Paul Giamatti.
I never knew his actual.
Colonel Parker.
I could see that.
That would have been great. Yeah, so that was originally what they were going to do, and that was going to be shortly after the movie had such a success and had such a cult following in the early 2000s. That obviously didn't happen, and some of that was funding. Some of that was Bruce Campbell and Don had disagreements about where they wanted to take the plot for the second one. And so in 2007, Bruce Campbell drops out of the second movie completely. And it's briefly reported that Ron Perlman is going to jump in as the replacement for Bruce Campbell.
I could see it, kinda.
Yeah, kind of, yeah. Well, that was 2006.
Yeah. Well, I guess we didn't get to see it, so.
No. In 2007, obviously, it never came out. 2017, though, it would show up as a novella form by the same author as the original.
Oh.
And then in 2019, it would show up once again as a crossover. Bubba Ho-Tep would, as a crossover with Army of Darkness. So Bruce crossing over with Bruce.
Oh.
Yeah, there was a lot of Army of Darkness crossovers they did around that time where they were just kind of taking Army of Darkness and mixing it with, like, I think it got like Hellraiser. There was Bubba Ho-Tep. There was Reanimator, like a bunch of horror movies and sci-fi movies, comic book wise, crossed over with Army of Darkness. And we're like, what if Ash was in here? It was kind of the premise of it. So. It was an interesting idea. Here is what was going on when the movie came out. On June 9th, 2002 was the first day of the tour. On that same day, here's what was lighting up the charts and was lighting up the silver screen at the theaters. Sum of All Fears was the #1 movie.
Wow.
Remember that movie?
I've never actually seen
it. It's a Tom Clancy movie.
Oh, okay, I gotcha.
Yeah. Technically pre-apocalyptic, if we want to extend that definition to world in peril, because the world definitely is in peril in that movie.
Oh, okay.
It's got Ben Affleck. I think Ben Affleck's on that one. I think. I could be wrong. I can't remember, honestly.
I believe you.
Don't check me on that. Number 2 movie was The Divine Secrets of the Ya-Ya Sisterhood.
Never seen it.
I don't think I have either. Oh, yeah, I've definitely heard of it. I've never seen it, though. Yeah. I've seen parts of it. My wife watched it once, and I saw like the tail end of it. I had no idea what was going on. A movie that I did watch, the movie that I was watching in 2002, when this movie came out, I did not see it in theaters. Like I said, was not one of the people on the tour. But I was in theaters watching Star Wars Episode 2, which is one of the worst movies I ever fucking made.
Yeah. I remember
the second Star Wars movie is terrible. Attack of the Clones is awful.
I remember I dragged my dad along to watch that movie because it was just like I don't know, I didn't want to go by myself, and we got like in the second row, and it was awful because first of all we were uncomfortable.
I was gonna say Hayden Christensen is awful in that movie.
Oh yeah,
it's terrible. The first half of that movie is bad, and then the second half is even worse. And then you get to the Yoda fight, and you're just like, "Go fuck yourself."
Yeah, exactly. Like
such a stupid movie. Other movies that were in
all the movies to be uncomfortable for, you know.
Yeah, it's a long one too to be uncomfortable for.
Right.
Another movie that was at the silver screen at the time was Bad Company, which was that Chris Rock, Anthony Hopkins movie. I think I've seen it like once.
Oh, I never saw
I don't remember. I don't remember much about it. And then another movie that was big at the time was Spider-Man, good old Spider-Man.
Yeah.
That was the movie I took my first date to. There you go.
Nice. Now,
I saw Spider-Man.
Were you thinking if only a hero could save us?
No. I was immediately thinking I did not expect to see nipples in this movie as soon as the kiss scene happens in that movie with Kirsten Dunst.
Oh,
and she's completely like
that.
wet. Yeah. That movie, that image will live in millennial children's minds forever. Kind of connects to Bruce Campbell because he's also in Spider-Man for just a hot second. Same Sam Raimi there. There you go.
Oh yeah. Oh, you gotta love it.
Yeah, there you go. More Bruce.
And he kind of steals the scene he's in, you know?
He does indeed. Here's the charts. Here's the songs that were big at the time. Hella Good by No Doubt.
Okay. That's when I was starting to fall away from No Doubt.
Yeah. That's when everyone should have. Without Me by Eminem.
I hear again, I'm falling away from Eminem at this time too.
What about The Middle by Jimmy Eat World?
Yeah, I'm down.
You're down with that one?
I still like it. Yeah.
Ashanti was big at the time. She had 2 big songs. What's Love with her and Ja Rule, and then Foolish was also the other big Ashanti song.
I'm pretty sure I remember those. They sound familiar.
I do as well. I remember What's Love distinctly. Foolish, I would have to listen to again, but I would definitely.
Yeah, I'd have to hear it. But these were the kind of songs that were just all over the place back then. So
indeed, indubitably.
Because the last one, the radio still was a thing back then. You know.
Oh yeah.
So I would still hear things.
Definitely.
But,
last song that we'll talk about was a song that I actually really love. This song. It's one of those ones that stood the test of time. 1,000 Miles by Vanessa Carlton.
Awesome.
That's a good song. Did not know that would like set the tempo of what like indie rock would be in 2020 onward.
Yeah, right.
There you go. Kind of establishing those early things there. So we'll take a little break and we'll come back and talk about the plot of Bubba Ho-Tep. See you all in a second.
Yeah.
At World Parts Direct, we offer a massive selection of new, factory original, GM, and Mopar parts at guaranteed low prices. Need something that isn't made anymore? We can help you find the right part for any brand. If we can't get it, nobody can. There's even a next-day delivery option on more than 100,000 items. Visit worldpartsdirect.com or call 972-864-9777.
Wells. I direct films and act in them. What we're always trying for, of course, is perfection. In a film, that's only a hope. But with
Final Picture Show podcast,
you can rely on it. Perfection.
All right. Thank y'all for coming along as we talk today about Bubba Ho-Tep. Next week, we'll be back talking about another Bruce Campbell movie, motherfuckers. We're going to talk about Alien Apocalypse, I believe a Sci-Fi Channel movie from similar 2000s period. And we'll see what Bruce was going through in his life whenever he was making this movie that hit on apocalyptic themes once again, more directly this time than Bubba Ho-Tep, which admittedly so, as we said, stretched the definition of pre-apocalypse. But that's okay. You know, if anyone's going to let us stretch some definitions, it might as well be Bruce Campbell. So we will see you guys next week for that. And yeah, thank y'all for coming along each and every single week. Come back and talk about a movie about the end of the world. We have a Patreon now. For those of you that would like to support us, you can do so. It's $3 a month, 7-day free trial. You're going to get access to the show we do every single week, an unedited version, director's cut, editor's cut. I don't know. Someone's cut. Someone's editing it differently than the show that we put up on the regular podcast feed, as well as bonus shows where we are currently in the midst of talking about the first season of Highlander, as well as some post-apocalyptic video games, maybe some D&D, and all kinds of fun stuff. So y'all keep coming back every single week, and we will keep producing things that hopefully interest you. And if they don't, hey, you can tell us, and we'll do something else. There you go. See y'all. Bye. Let's get into this thing. That's what Donald Trump said whenever he tried to bomb Iran. Is let's get into this thing.
Jesus.
Yeah, so this is a mummy movie, which
it is.
Joins a prestigious group of movies about mummies. There aren't a whole lot. It's a very small group.
More than you'd expect, though.
More than you'd expect, but not as many as you would imagine. I have in front of me a list of the top 25 mummy movies of all time. This was made from 5 years ago, so it's leaving out.
On the list.
It is on the list, yes, sir.
You're nice.
It is on the list.
This is a good list.
Mummies, mummies are kind of undergoing a modern resurgence. Recently, Lee Corrin's The Mummy just recently came out, and that movie is getting tremendous reviews as being one of the greatest, not only horror movies made recently, but one of the best mummy movies ever made for its depiction of like a mummy as being like a very terrifying thing. And this also comes at the same time that we're told just this year that there's going to be another mummy movie made in the Brendan Fraser franchise, which is coming in 2028. Of course, this is after Tom Cruise and Universal kind of tried to do their own little Universal.
They tried to bring back like the what was it, like the Dark Universe or whatever they called it?
Yeah, they wanted to do that, but then they were trying to modeling it like after Marvel, where they were like trying to take like the characters and bestowing the powers into them and making them like hero. Like that's why like Tom Cruise could like go mummy mode. So he could like summon a sandstorm at will. So. It's not a very good movie. I don't think it's on this list, but let's see. So they have the original movie from 1932 as the number one mummy movie. Followed up with The Mummy's Hand. It's really good. It's a fun one. It is not as good as Frankenstein or Dracula or even Wolfman. but it's pretty good. It has a 6.9 on IMDb. I would say that's about what it is. About
Nice.
6, 7 out of 10. It is fine. It's not as good as the other movies that were made around the same time. But it's fun. It is fun for what it is. 2 is The Mummy's Hand, which came out in 1940. 3 is The Mummy's Tomb, which came out in 1942. 4 is The Mummy's Curse, which came out in 1944. You can sense a theme so far. Number 5 was The Mummy's Ghost, which also came out in 1944.
Oh.
And at number 6 is Pharaoh's Curse, which comes out in 1957.
Mm-hmm.
Tale of the Mummy, which comes out in 1998. I'm not familiar with that movie.
No.
Starring Jason Scott Lee. Interesting.
Ooh.
Interesting. Number 8 is The Mummy's Revenge, which comes out in 1975. Number 9 is The Curse of the King Tut's Tomb, which comes out in 1980 and was a TV movie starring Robin Ellis. That's an interesting choice to add to this list.
Yeah, that is. Next
one is from 2006. This is one we have talked about. We maybe will talk about it on the show at one point. This is The Curse of King Tut's Tomb, which does star Casper Van Dien.
This is my first time hearing about this.
Yeah, it's an interesting little movie. Number 11 is The Awakening from 1980, starring Charlton Heston. Not familiar with that movie. Not familiar with that one. Sphinx from 1981, starring Frank Langella.
Oh.
Yeah. Dawn of the Mummy from 1981, starring George Peck. 2014, it has The Pyramid. I'm not familiar with that movie at all. 2013's Prisoner of the Sun is number 15, starring John Rhys Davies. That doesn't say much. He'll be in a lot of movies. This does say that it stops the reawakening of a god bent on initiating the apocalypse. So I guess it will show up on the show at some point.
Oh, definitely.
Actors that we could have a whole month dedicated to would definitely be John Rhys Davies being up there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think he's been in a movie we've talked about already. I'm pretty sure. I have to go back and look at our list, but I'm pretty sure he's been in something. Yeah, he's been in a lot. Well,
because he's a lot like Malcolm McDowell. He'll just be in stuff. You know?
Speaking of just being actor. Yeah, I was gonna say, speaking of just being in stuff, number 16 here is Legend of the Mummy from 1998, starring Louis Gossett Jr.
Oh,
there's a man that'll say yes to a check. I wonder if he asks how many days it is, and if they're gonna have to show us. Right. I wonder if that's a question that got asked on Left Behind. How many days are you gonna show my dick?
Well, now number 7. The first 2 questions I ask if I'm ever asked to be in a movie.
Exactly. Number 17 is Assignment Terror. This movie contains vampires, werewolves, and mummies being unleashed on a human population to control a dying planet. This sounds like an interesting movie. We'll definitely have to add that to the list.
Does.
Starring Craig Hill and Michael Renee. Number 18 is The Mummy Lives from 1994. Number 19 is The Mummy Theme Park from the year 2000. What? That's a questionable choice. Okay, and then we finally at the end here. Yeah, I know. We finally at the end here get some logical things that should have been further up. Number 20 is Abbott and Costello Meet the Mummy. Finally.
Yep.
That hopefully this isn't a ranking of quality, because this one should have been much, much higher.
That should have been much higher in quality. Oh god, it's so good. I actually love it. But I like old comedy. I like old vaudeville comedy.
Oh yeah. So anything with Abbott and Costello is pretty awesome.
Yes.
21 is actually The Mummy with Tom Cruise. That's a terrible movie. Yeah. And then 22, 23, and 24 are all of the Brendan Fraser mummies: The Mummy, The Mummy Returns, and the god-awful Mummy Tomb of the Dragon Emperor, which does have Jet Li in it at least.
Terrible.
Yeah.
It does.
And then the 25th one on the list is Frankenstein versus the Mummy, which is directed by Damien Leone, which is gone. He's the guy who did the Terrifier series. I'm not familiar with Frankenstein versus the Mummy at all.
I'm not.
So
I've also never
about that.
I've never actually seen The Terrifier. I'm told I need to watch it, even though I don't like horror movies. But I need to check it.
Terrifier has some intense scenes. They're the first one.
Yeah.
There's parts of it. I love horror movies, and it has some scenes that are pretty intense. Yeah, there's one where he like kidnaps a girl and he hangs her upside down and he saws her in half starting from her clit. Yeah, that was one of those things that I was like, Jesus, that's fucked up. Like, and then it like does it, and you're like, oh, it's not going to show it. Oh no, it shows it. Shows you every little thing, and you're like, God damn, that was graphic. So there's a lot of things there. And then the second Terrifier has like some weird stuff with angels at the end, and I was like, that's weird. And then the third one, it's set during Christmas time, and it also has some weird choices. It's one of those horror movies where you very much get the idea watching it that like, oh, they're trying to push your boundaries and see how fucked up we can get before you're like, oh, I can't watch this. And so it's just a matter of like how fucked up they get before you can't watch it anymore.
Yeah,
I like the first one more than the second one, and the first one was kind of enough for me to be like, I'm good. And then they're apparently based on like another series of movies that he did before that, called like All Hallows Eve, which I've never seen those, so I can't say that. Let's get into Bubba Ho-Tep's plot now that we've seen that it didn't make the list of all of those 25 Mummy movies, which, I would have definitely thrown this one on there. It has a mummy in it. That makes it a Mummy movie alone.
Honestly, that's Mummy enough.
Yeah, that's plenty of Mummy for me.
This on, and I don't know that Tom Cruise is... I don't know. Maybe
that movie's terrible. That movie's terrible.
Is it? Okay. Am I not missing anything really by not seeing it?
No, you're not missing anything from not watching it at all. It's really bad. So we start in Mud Creek.
I usually like Tom Cruise, but...
yeah, everyone has their days. We start in Mud Creek, Texas, which is set in East Texas, as we said, and it's actually, the city does exist in Texas, but it's nowhere near East Texas. It's closer to southern western Texas than anything.
Yeah,
but those of you if you are living and listening to us from Mud Creek, please leave us a comment just so we can know that some people exist out there. I don't know how many people live in that town. Yeah, remember when we used to play D&D and we would get bored because we were doing the world's stupidest dungeon with Dom that just went on forever, and we would literally just start Googling Earth cities in Texas and just like walking around Google Earth images of the city. Yeah, that was a thing we did.
Texas. We did a whole bunch. One of these days,
Sanderson,
one of these days, we have to go to Sanderson, Texas.
Yes. If we ever have like if we ever have enough of like an audience to be like, okay, we're going to have like a bunch of people meet up in one area, Sanderson, Texas.
Oh God. They're going to be
people will be like, what the fuck? They'll be like, hey, it's where we are, baby. Oh Lord. Yeah. So we start at the Shady Rest Retirement Villa in good old East Texas, the town of Mud Creek. We get introduced to our character, who we think is Elvis Presley, but also goes by Sebastian Haff, and there's a whole backstory to that we'll get into as the movie kind of unfolds.
Is a really cool and well done backstory.
Yeah, the entire Elvis backstory takes the first chunk of the movie, where it gets into like he's here, he's sick with cancer of his dick. There's something wrong. The people next to him are dying from various things, right? Yeah. And he is like, it answers a lot of the questions via flashbacks and things like that, where it's like, okay, so is he an impersonator who thinks he's Elvis, or is he really Elvis? And you get it laid out, the story that he tells, which is basically like, he is really Elvis. At one point in Elvis's career, towards the end of it, he was tired of all the fame and bullshit, so he found an impersonator, switched with him. That guy got to take over as being Elvis for the rest of it until the end of it, and he got to go and live a less crazy life. Which is not like the first time that story has been pitched about Elvis.
Right, exactly. But
that story has existed elsewhere in other media before. But I think it's a cool idea to make like a set as like a foundation for your kind of like sci-fi tale.
Yeah, really. Like
fantasy
it's
tale.
So it is such an interesting, like, this is its own thing, but here we're going to put in this supernatural element, like this threat that he has to deal with now.
Yeah.
And I think that's really interesting.
Yeah. And so he goes on as this Elvis impersonator, but he's really Elvis.
Yeah.
So he gets on performances and continues on, and then one of the performances he hurts his hip, which, hey man, a couple days ago I got out of the car and my hip like locked in place, and for a brief moment I was like, oh shit, this is what it feels like to be an old person. It hit me real fast when I was like, oh fuck, that's what it feels like when your hip is fucked up. Like, God, that sucks.
And I've had this sharp pain in my right hip for a little bit, like for the past couple of days. So yeah.
Oh
God.
If anyone listening is a doctor and would like to diagnose.
But yeah, no, it's this movie coming at it at this age. It's like, oh God, yeah, we're all just falling apart, man.
Yeah, no, I feel it.
Yeah, this felt like, oh God, I could see this as a future, like.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So any documentation that he would have had to prove that he is the real Elvis was blown up in a barbecue fire, which that tracks for Elvis.
That was awesome.
Yeah, that was a cool little scene. Yeah, this entire movie was filmed on like backlots in LA. So they do a good job of kind of pulling off a couple of little scenes like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that kind of sets up why Elvis is here. And of course, none of the people that work there believe him. Mostly the nurse that we keep running into that has to occasionally deal with his penis problem.
It's a very small cast. So we only have
not a whole lot of
people
in this movie. Yeah, there's really not a whole lot. Yeah, no, I enjoy that too. That's like a very self-contained little group of people. You could almost put this movie on as a play.
Oh, I think so. And I think
you could totally put this movie as a play. Yeah, you could totally do this movie as a play. So, whenever we inevitably end up, you have a child who may love you enough to put you in a retirement home at some point whenever you come to it. I do not have any children, and so I will probably be one of those people that they find dead in their house with cats having to eat their eyeballs. But if we do end up in a retirement villa, who are you pretending to be?
Oh,
what famous historic person are you going to try to convince everyone? Actually, was the lead singer of Toad the Wet Sprocket.
I was going to say it'd be something like that.
Not a big deal. Yeah, not a big deal or anything.
Yeah,
you could totally pull off something like that. Like, I played drums in Gin Blossoms. I've seen some shit.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I think that would be. If I do somehow find myself in a retirement villa in my old age, in my glory years, I am 100% pretending that I was somebody else in another. It's just seeing how far I can ride this pony. I might be so old, I just start convincing myself where I'm like, I was totally in Smashing Pumpkins. Like, I just forgot. I don't know.
Yeah. I was in Wallflower,
So as the cast kind of unveils itself, we do meet our other main character, which is Ozzie Davis playing a JFK who, as he says, they dyed him black, which is interesting little take on the whole thing.
That is very funny and very cool.
Yeah.
I think they played it, it was wacky enough, but not over the top, No,
so which is like
the nice little character study.
Yeah, it's like the premise of the movie based on like the outline of it, where you're like Bruce Campbell plays a retirement home person who thinks he's Elvis, and the other co-star is Ozzie Davis who thinks he's JFK, and they're going to battle a mummy to save the world. You're like, okay, it's going to be a horror comedy, and it's like, yes, and it gets there, But it doesn't start there at all. It definitely takes its time developing these characters, because we get all of these relationships kind of developed in a very like methodical way. Like, it's not edited or paced like a schlocky B horror movie at all.
It's not. Like, I was like, man, this is awfully dramatic, and the way Bruce Campbell plays it is like this. Yeah, this is actually like, I don't know, like, and also the way he portrayed the aging process, like at that point,
totally,
of the aging process, that he makes like, with the like the way he talks about it was just like, oh god,
he does great in this movie. I thought this was like one of my favorite Bruce Campbell movies, and he does a great job. Yeah, like, he does a great job. Ozzie Davis also does a great job, especially when we get a little bit more of his character unveiled. Like, whenever, because at first you're just like, okay, he's just JFK, and then you don't see him for a little while, and then during one of the nights when Bruce is awoken by the giant cockroach,
scarab beetle thing,
thing that he thinks is a giant cockroach, he eventually sees that Ozzie Davis has also kind of seen this thing. And at that point, we see all of the JFK stuff in Ozzie Davis's room, like his diorama of Dealey Plaza, like the whole breakdown of it. It's pretty awesome.
He's like, I thought it was LBJ.
I love that he was like fucking Lyndon Johnson. Me and my wife both were giggling. We were like, oh yeah, it was definitely Lyndon Johnson.
Oh yeah,
definitely. Oh god, yeah. I love how they're like, but like I said, you get a lot of themes developed at the beginning of like life, death, regret when you get older.
Yeah,
honestly, those are things that
like just aging out of like just into almost into obscurity. Just
those themes that like you don't understand when you're younger. Yeah.
No, and I think I would have scoffed at it when I was younger, but now that I'm older and it's like, oh, I'm knocking on the door of that.
I think because like when you're younger, whether you know it or not, you kind of like accidentally follow the whole logic that like, you're young and you can still do whatever. I can still change this trajectory of this. I can, I smoke too much. I can still fix that. I drink too much. I can fix that. I don't have a good job. I can still, like, everything is still fixable. It's still fixable. As you get older, you've realized, and that's the part that sucks, is that realization that like the things that you wanted in life, you can't ever get those things. And most of the things you have, for a lot of us, we don't want these things. These problems, these things that we were searching for, that we thought were going to give us some kind of meaning and things. And now you're kind of like stuff with that realization of like, that being in between of like, the things I have, I don't really have that. I don't see the same way as other people do. And yet the things I want, I know that I can't attain those things because I don't have the time left to go and change my decisions, right? You can't go and change things anymore. Like, when you're in your late 30s, early 40s, if you've been drinking every day for the last 10 years, shit, dude, that's going to be hard to fix now. Like, we're not, it's not like we're 18, we're not 22, we're not 25. You can't, that part's hard to just switch off now. Like, the habits you've developed are your things now.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, and I've got so many stupid, lame habits.
I have a bunch of shit every single year. Every single year when I do my taxes, I get task paralysis every single year. I'm horrible about that. Like, where I just like, I know it's not like a big thing. I filed an extension. I know it's not like, yeah. I know it's not like, it's not going to take me very long to do it. But for whatever reason, my mind is just like, yeah, but if it doesn't take very long, then it's not that important. If it's not that important, then you don't need to set time for it. And like, all of that is behavior that I developed over years of making poor choices. And even now, like, I recognize that that's a poor choice, but I also understand that I am trying to fix it is really hard to do on my own at this point in my life.
Yeah.
That's what growing up old. Yeah. That's what getting older is like that realization that like, shit, all the things that I thought I could do, I can't do those things. And I'm kind of stuck having to like try to fix the things that I've put myself into, that I went into to try to get out of the, it's a whole circle, Those younger listeners are like, what the fuck are they? It's like, it is.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy when I see like younger folks, like my daughter and everything, and I see certain things where I'm like, either with my daughter, I'm just like kind of glad you do that because I didn't pick that up as a habit, and you're going to be glad you did.
Yeah, when I'm teaching, I feel that way with some of the kids whenever I see them doing things that no one told them to do that. That's like a behavior they've learned, and I'm like, that's a good idea. Like, you have no idea how good of an idea that is, that you've like developed this skill already. Like that'll save you a lot of time and headache and energy going forward in your life that you're not even prepared to deal with. Like it is like you're not ready. You're not ready for it. Anyway, also this movie has mummies in it. It's not just a deep think about death and aging. And about regret and but we do get those themes there.
Those are the things that elevated it for me, though, I will say.
Yeah, those are the things that take it from being just like your everyday like schlocky horror movie. It's like movie. It's definitely not. It's something very different.
It is.
Yeah, this is where I wrote down, is this movie pre-apocalyptic? Like, does it technically fit our I was questioning it at this point. Because I was like, this is a long time in.
I started to question it, and I was like, yeah, but, by the end of it, I was like, you know what? This has been such a great performance. I don't care.
Yes. Now, I
hear it some, but...
Well, I also was like, if it's not, then we can extend Elvis, the Elvis metaphor, to be representational of us all. And in that way, it is pre-apocalyptic because his death at the end of the film represents, coming to the end.
Absolutely.
The end times.
100%. It's a metaphoric apocalypse.
We are metaphorically the king of our own castle. Metaphorically. Which, I don't know what that makes the JFK of my mind, but let's move on before the CIA decides to shoot it. Or was it the FBI that time? I can never remember. CIA, FBI, COINTELPRO.
CIA, but I don't know.
It's hard to remember which three-letter organization killed which president this time, It's hard to say. It's hard to say. Now that we've mentioned their names, though, I do believe they are listening. So while you're listening, those of you agents, what happened with Martin Luther King? Is that FBI?
Yeah, right?
Did y'all kill him? Did y'all really kill him? Who did it? Let us know.
Who did?
Leave it in the comments. Call that audience engagement. Yeah, I love every single interaction that Ozzy and Bruce here have. Whenever they're together on screen, I think they have really great chemistry.
Oh, they really do.
At this point, like, we've seen Bruce Campbell be able to play off of so many different people. I'm beginning to think he might have great chemistry with like a potato sack. So like, he might just be able to get a performance out of fucking anything. Like, he's such an underrated actor. Such an underrated.
He really is. 100% underrated. Yeah.
Ozzy Davis is also underrated in this movie. I think he's great.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And so
you would think the way that, the context of the movie, whatever, you'd think somebody would be phoning it in or something, or playing it over the top or something. Yeah. No, it's just real good performance. Like,
yeah, it really truly is,
or something, or like
we talked about writing a movie and having people give us obstacles. Maybe we do the inverse. Maybe we take a movie and adapt it to the stage, and then we send it to Dom and tell him, put it on in a small town, Texas, and see if anyone wants to come see the stage production.
Black Box Theater.
Oh Lord, is Black Box even still around? I didn't know if they closed it down or not.
Yeah, it's got to be, right?
I know
that the one I did a play at,
that one closed down, right? Yeah. That's the one I used to go to all the time. I saw so many plays there. That sucks that went out of business.
Right.
But it is happening. Let's move on to more about the movie and less meditation about death and aging. Speaking of death and aging, the mummy has like a telepathic link to Elvis. This is a little weird.
Yeah. It is,
but weird. I like that they like kind of further develop the fantasy adventure elements of it to make it a little bit more, a little bit less just like a traditional horror movie. More of like the odd choices they make in the movie. I think it's cool.
It is.
So yeah, like Elvis can like they have like flashbacks where he sees into the mummy's life and vice versa, I guess.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, which is kind of interesting.
It's pretty cool. Yeah, because what was it? What is it? What the JFK character says? He says something where he's like, "I saw." Oh no, he was talking about like they stole it in a bus, and he's like, "I saw that." You know?
Yeah. He's like seen visions that like connect to the story. JFK's daughter, I guess, picked him up and took him into the city. And he grabbed some newspapers and he was like showing him clippings. That's that whole scene. Yeah. And that kind of shows that like, Elvis is now like, he's some kind of telepathic connection to the mummy. I guess this is what the the prequel would have developed further. Is how that whole thing works, I suppose. I'm not sure. I was speculating, obviously.
Right.
I wish we got more mummy scenes, honestly. Like, I know budget-wise we couldn't do it for very much, but like, I wish we had a little bit more.
I think so.
Just a little bit more. But
yeah,
I do like what we end up with. I like the scarab stuff. Yeah, that's cool. I would have had a couple more scarab scenes maybe to kind of intersplice at the beginning of it. That would have been maybe a little bit more. But I do like when we finally get our mummy scene at the end where we finally get our fight with the elderly gentleman trying to square off against the mummy.
Them walking down the hall... You know, JFK in the wheelchair rolling like the mechanic or electrical wheelchair, and then Elvis in the using the walker, just walking down like traditionally like a slow-mo walking like action, like badass scene, and it still holds the gravitas, like it's still cool,
Yeah. I mean, I really like that part. I like at the end with that when he's like, before he leaves, he's like, "Tell me about Marilyn."
That's right.
That part was kind of funny. That got a chuckle out of me because I was like, he's just, wow. Like, that was a nice thing there. I also like that the preposterousness of the fight scene of these two elderly gentlemen is not played for like chuckles. That they don't make it too funny, and now it is funny. But they don't make it like over the top zany funny, It is like literally played as like, oh no, they are having a hard time getting around, but they are trying to fight him, and yes, he does fall asleep waiting for him. Like, they are elderly. This does happen. It is a thing.
Yep. Oh yeah.
And then we get the end where JFK is unfortunately killed again for real this time.
For real
again. Yeah, this time nothing to do with a sniper in Dealey Plaza.
Yeah.
No, this time a mummy in East Texas. Hey.
Yeah.
Close enough. I like the end where Bruce Campbell like drives him off a cliff with the electric wheelchair. Or like into a ditch, I guess, basically like off of a ditch, a river ditch. I like that part, and I liked at the end. I wish that the gash he got was a little bit more graphic, a little bit more like, it looks pretty bad. It looks fine, but once again, it's a little bit like, it could have been a little bit better.
That could have been a little bit more graphic, a little bit more, but I mean, it's still like, that's not going to heal well. That's he's old enough. That's going to be a problem.
He's going to die from that. Yeah, and he takes out the mummy. And he gets his last scene where he once again does not say "Hail to the King, baby," but does say "Thank you, thank you very much," and then passes on. And we get the end of the movie. Yeah. So, final thoughts on Bubba Ho-Tep as JFK and Elvis Presley save the day and the world from, I guess, suffering the fate of a slow-moving mummy. We'll go with that.
Because he's robbing these people of their afterlife, basically. He's
going to steal their soul. Yeah. Your soul is mine.
Physically using the bathroom and writing in hieroglyphics on the wall.
That's what you do.
No, this movie was really cool in a way of like exploring the aging process and like the like just. Being left to be forgotten and die, and then you have these orderlies or whatever, like taking these bodies out, and it's just, almost, that's pretty comical for sure, but they very much like not incredibly respectful of the dying process, like it's just another thing to them, just another whatever.
It's just a burden on them at this point.
Exactly. And they even, like, one of the guys tries to get into that part of it, like what do you imagine? He lived his whole life, and then now dead or whatever, and then they drop the body, like,
yeah.
all right. Like, there's so much, like, it's kind of how the movie is. Like, it's this balance of a pretty serious topic, like genuinely a serious topic, and like a thing that, like, we're all going to have to deal with. And then also this other goofy thing going on. It's like, I think it kind of presents it in a kind of nice way, but it doesn't resolve it. It doesn't, it doesn't have the answer. It just is like, makes you think, right? Anyway, Mummy.
Yeah, it is kind of like a mixture of two completely different kinds of movies. One being like you said, like a meditation on death and like what it means to get old and be a burden on people and not be able to care for yourself anymore. And like, how do we care for the elder? What does that say about us as a society? That like we treat elderly people like this, that like we're all going to become this, and yet we all see how we treat these people, and it's like, shit. Yeah, it's really dark as you get older. And does it get more and more lonely. And it's just, you see all that, but then also mummies. And so the movie definitely has like a kind of like a different thing going for it. And I like, which I can see why it's become like a cult movie, because it definitely is kind of like a one of a kind movie in that respect. Like there aren't a whole lot of movies that try to blend those two conversations together. And so that's kind of interesting that we're seeing that here. And it's definitely a movie that's worth watching. It's not streaming anywhere, I don't believe, currently, which is another one of those kind of annoying things where it's like, yeah, the movie could be much, much bigger if exposed to a larger audience. This is one of those times where it's like, I wish it was streaming. If you own it, that's cool. Like, I own it. I was able to throw it on there. But, getting you to watch it took a little bit of finagling and sailing of the seven seas.
Once I got to the seven seas, it was such a hassle hauling it on board, if you dig my meaning. It kept like falling off the boat, and like I had to keep reloading.
Man overboard.
So I finally just went to Fandango and bought it. Or not bought it, but
well,
like rented it. And I was like, this is worth $4.
It's definitely worth $4. Yeah, it's definitely worth watching again. It's a good time. So I like Bubba Ho-Tep. We'll be back again next week to talk about another Bruce Campbell movie, this time more directly connected to the apocalypse, as the movie is called Motherfucking Alien Apocalypse. It is
much more related.
It is from 2005, directed by Josh Becker, and it is a 2005 sci-fi original. So are you familiar with Mr. Josh Becker?
I don't, not right off the bat. Not.
All right. He's mostly known as the guy who did a lot of Xena the Warrior Princess. So,
I'm in.
Yeah. It's going to be Bruce back at home with a familiar friend doing a sci-fi original about, I believe, an astronaut coming back to Earth and finding things to be a little different. So it's going to be kind of back to our roots and Planet of the Apes style movies. Which is a fun time. Yeah, if a movie's not ripping off Mad Max, it's ripping off Planet of the Apes, at least in our neck of the woods. So we'll get to see another one of those. So we'll be back next week with that. Thank you all, and thank you for listening. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Take it easy.
Now I'm going to go do my thing. Diddle. Hot damn, college boy. Thank you for coming and watching the show this week. Every single week, we come back and talk about a post-apocalyptic movie. And it's a good time. Sometimes we talk about extremely obscure movies that virtually no one really else talks about. Sometimes we talk about mainstream stuff that pretty much everyone talks about. So either way, you can come back and get some enjoyment. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, you could give us a like, subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. If you're watching elsewhere, then rate the show 4 or 5 stars, whatever you felt. Leave a comment or anything of the sort. It helps with the engagement and all of that fun stuff that people always talk about at the end of these episodes. So thank you sincerely for listening, if you have listened, and thank you. I don't know what else to say. Just a simple thank you. Bye.